Okay, I've had to change the battery again because this camera's not liking the weather. So I'm just going to go around here. I'm going to see how much I can get done. So here's a Austin 7 next to a Ford Escort Mark II RS 2000. There's a Vauxhall Victor 2300 next to a Triumph Herald Escort Mark II. So if we walk a bit further up here, we see a Triumph 1948 Triumph Roadster model TR2000, Jaguar E-Type, here's an MGB next to an MGTD, T-Type. Right, so here's a Jaguar E-Type next to a Morris Minor from the 1930s, next to an Austin 7, next to a Citroen 2CV 1983 model here. Here's a Austin Healey Sprite Mark IV, Mitsubishi Galant next to an Austin Taxi. If we look here, we see the Ford Cortina sitting next to an Austin A30. And here's a really old school Mini. Right, we've got to try and get to the motorcycles. Very simple interior in these. Right, we get back to the motorcycles over here. Now we was with the Grump, so now we see a Honda. There's a Triumph. That's a twin of some sort. BSA sitting next to a Honda CB200. It's a rally runabout. Norman Nippy. I think the Normans, as in the motorcycle, I think they were made in Ashford or somewhere in Kent. There's a bicycle with an engine on it. There's a Lambretta next to a Kawasaki 500 Mach 3. Sounds as though it could probably go. Alright, here's a Honda. Right, I'm just going to move my way around here. Here's a Triumph Tiger next to a Suzuki GT750, a Honda Trail 70 alongside our Yamaha TT500. There's a Pooch Maxi next to a Kawasaki KH250. Not sure what that is. There's a oh, that's a BSA Sunbeam scooter. There's a Greaves Scottish Battle of Burwash. Yeah, look at that, Battle of Burwash. I like seeing that. Honda moped. There's a Yamaha bicycle with oh, what that's. Now a couple of bicycles here which I'm not into. Here's a Triumph Bonneville. There's a motorcycle without handlebars, and here's a 500 Royal Star BSA. Here's an Ariel. So Vespa combination super sport and a sidecar. Vespa I think means wasp in Italian. So here's a BSA Golden Flash with a sidecar on it. Another BSA here, and here's a military style job. That looks like a BSA Bantam in military colours. Here's a Honda CB150 160 actually. I don't know what that is. But there's a organ of some kind. Right, here's a Reliant Scimitar. Yeah, so here's a Reliant Scimitar. This is a GTE. This is a GTE. If we go a bit further down, this is actually a GT. So it's an early one. Here's another. Here's some more GTEs. There's a couple more GTEs. And if we go a bit further, this is a Reliant Scimitar GTE, and it's a drop top, and it has the roll hoops in it. Right, well, I'm going to go around the edge of the field. Here's a Ford Escort Mark IV RS Turbo. And there's a Yamaha R1. There's a Mini Traveller alongside a Suzuki GSXR 750. And there's a Harley Davidson just there. Going to move around here because now we see a Triumph Herald. Well, this looks like an Escort Mark II, Ford Escort Mark II. Yeah, Ford Escort Mark II. So here's a Triumph Herald next to a Honda 600. There's another Triumph Herald there. We move down here, we see, what the hell is that? What is that? I've forgotten what it is. It's actually a Didion Bouton. Yeah, Didion Bouton, so there we are. Here's a BSA Bantam Preservation Group. Here's a D1 just here. Yeah, here's a couple more D1. There's a load of D1s here, BSA Bantams. We work our way along. It's good to see these people here today. It's good to see the club here today as well. Although don't forget to keep up the fluids. It's a hot one.
Oh no.
Even this is getting bothered by it.
I've got fluid in my van over there, as well as my bike.
Yeah, I've got to go off and get some more. I've gone through what I had.
Oh yeah, got to keep going.
There's a D1 plunger. There's a Bantam D1 14.4. Yeah, so right, I'm having to try and keep the screen up to know what this is actually doing. Here's another organ. This is a Dutch street organ called Tulip. It works. Right, here's an Austin 7 next to a Ford Model T. If we go a bit further along, I've just spotted a rather interesting Ford Model T. If we have a look on the back, driving one of these is a pain in the arse. Ooh, this must have been co-opted into the military during like World War One. Would have been World War One, I think. Here's an encampment from World War One. Is it World War One? It looks like a medical tent. Yeah, so we look there. Ford Model T, machine gun carrier. If we move down here, we see another Ford Model T, and this was an ambulance. So Again, probably, yeah, World War One. They called it the Great War, but what's so great about being in a conflict like that? It didn't end all wars, did it? It never. History has told us that. Right, here's some more bicycles. Looks like a bicycle repair tent. If we just have a quick look here. Here's some more bicycles here. I think I'm going to have to give the camera a break because I need the batteries to cool down. Yeah, this is one of the fields here.